Take a look at your phone's recent call list, or think about the last time you truly shared a burden with someone. For a lot of us over 40, that list has become remarkably short, maybe even non-existent. Society looks at people with few or no friends and assumes there's a social defect. They label it as loneliness or isolation, but if you're in that second half of life, you know it's often something much more complex. It's not that you can't make friends, it's that your social battery has been recalibrated by years of experience, disappointment, and a sudden, sharp clarity about who actually deserves your time. In the next few minutes, we're going to talk about the hidden psychology of the small circle. I'm going to show you why having no friends might actually be a sign of high emotional intelligence, and the one mental trap that turns healthy solitude into a dangerous cage. When we were in our 20s, friendship was about quantity. It was about who was fun, who was there on the weekends, and who filled the room. But as we move into the 40 to 65 bracket, the sincerity gap begins to widen. You've lived through enough fake smiles, one-sided conversations, and fair-weather friends to know that most social interaction is just noise. Psychologically, your brain has moved from expansion to preservation. You've realized that a large circle often just means more people who don't actually know you. It's a heavy realization when you look back and see how many people were only there for the version of you that was useful to them. But wait, let's be real for a second. There is a fine line between selective quality and trauma-based isolation. Here is the reality. For many of us, having no friends isn't a choice we made because we're too evolved. It's a defense mechanism. If you were the child who was always the strong one, or the adult who was always the giver, you might have reached a point of emotional burnout. You've stopped making friends, not because you don't want them, but because you're terrified of the emotional tax that comes with them. You're protecting your peace, but in doing so, are you accidentally projecting a wall that even the good ones can't climb over? This is the psychological safety paradox. Sometimes the fortress we build to keep out the pain ends up keeping us trapped inside. Unlike the younger generations who are constantly seeking external validation through likes and follows, the mature brain, 40 plus, starts to find a strange, quiet comfort in solitude. This isn't loneliness. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. Solitude is the glory of being alone. Psychologists call this social selectivity. As we age, we prioritize emotional depth over social breadth. We'd rather have one deep, authentic conversation every 6 months than 10 superficial ones every week. If you have no friends right now, it might simply be because you refuse to settle for small talk. You're waiting for soul talk. And in a world that's increasingly shallow that makes you a rare breed, not a broken one. So, how do we fix the mental trap? The switch is moving from isolation to curation. Isolation is a reaction to fear. It's staying alone because it's safer. Curation is an active choice. It's staying alone until someone meets your standards. The satisfaction you're looking for doesn't come from finding more people. It comes from realizing that being your own best friend is the highest form of psychological health. When you stop seeing your small circle as a void and start seeing it as a filter, the shame disappears. You aren't lonely, you're just highly selective about who gets to witness your life. Your worth is not measured by the number of people at your table, but by the peace you feel when the room is empty. If you found more peace in your own company than in the crowd, then you aren't doing it wrong. You're just finally listening to what your soul has been trying to tell you for years. If this resonated with you, subscribe. We're building a community here for the people who value depth over noise. You're not alone in your solitude.